Subscribers and regular viewers will know that for just over 2.5 years I have religiously posted 1 to 2 videos every week without skipping a beat. If you're also a regular viewer or subscriber, you'll know that for about the past 4 or 5 weeks, thereabouts, I haven't posted a single video. So in this week's Thursday Thought video, before I get into the Thursday Thought, I just want to explain why I've been absent for a little bit. Hi folks, I'm Craig Taylor, and as always, a huge thank you for joining me here on my YouTube channel, the Bushcraft Padawan, and thank you for joining me in this week's Thursday's Thought. Before we get into that Thursday's Thought, let me just explain where I've been. Year before last, my dad was diagnosed with cancer and beat it. And last year, he was diagnosed with cancer and beat it. And this year he was diagnosed with cancer, and unfortunately he didn't beat it this time around. He died on the 30th of September 2019. I found out that he was in hospital with cancer on the 6th of September. I found out a couple of days later that it was terminal and he had a few weeks to live. Most of September was spent either at his bedside with my mum and my family, or travelling between where I live, which is on the south coast of England, and Yorkshire, which is where my mum and dad live. It's the best part of a 5 or 6 hour drive, especially when you've got kids in the car and a dog and you need to stop for a wee and all of that sort of stuff. So a lot of time was spent on the road. More time, thankfully, was spent at my dad's bedside right up to the end where he, where, as I say, he died at the end of September. So that's literally why I wasn't able to post any videos or even record any videos during September. I was busy, and since then, as I'm sure everyone watching this will appreciate, my head has been in other places, and I've not been in the right frame of mind or fit state, and I'm not entirely sure I still am, but I'm better to get out and to think about videos and record them and go through that process. But here I am, trying to establish some sense of routine again, and order and familiarity, because everything that I've read and I've been told, the sooner you can get back to that sense of order and familiarity and all of that, often that can help to gradually get over things a bit quicker. So here I am in this week's Thursday's Thought video. I know that none of you were expecting a reason for me being away. I know that none of you would, so many of you might not even miss that I've been gone, which is a consideration I need to reflect upon. But I know that none of you would have expected an explanation. I know I didn't have to give one, but I did. There we are. Let's move on with the Thursday's Thought. Autumn or fall, depending on where you are in the world, is very definitely here on the south coast of the UK. In fact, this morning is the first morning that I've come out. I don't know if you can see that, but there's just some plumes of my breath is, as I exhale, I can see plumes of breath there. We can also see that a great deal of the vegetation around me is starting to signal very clearly that autumn's not only here, but it's been here for a couple of weeks on the south coast of the UK. And with it, of course, it brings a change in the outdoors. It's a little cooler. The days get darker a little more quickly. Things are a lot damper, especially over the last few weeks here in the UK. So, from a bushcrafting perspective, from a getting outdoors perspective, the factors involved in us being outdoors, many of them have changed. It also signals, of course, that winter is starting to rear its head and will be here before we know it. Days will be even shorter then. Things will probably be even wetter and colder. We probably may not see as many people out and about in the outdoors and things like that. And temperatures and the weather and so on and so forth can obviously affect what we're doing. Winter will inevitably roll on to spring, and spring will roll on to summer, and before we know it, I'll be stood back here again in autumn or fall, and the years will relentlessly continue to cycle through. And it's got me thinking about seasons, and it's got me thinking about what season or seasons I prefer to come and do things outdoors. Now, I should say at this point, and I hope that my videos over the last 2.5 years have shown this, I'm happy to get out regardless of the season. I'm happy to get out regardless of the weather. So it being winter or not, it being autumn or spring or summer or not, isn't really a factor in me getting out. But my preference, what's my preference? If I was stuck with one season till the end of time, what would I prefer to be stuck with? So I'm not saying that this is the only point I'll go outdoors, because I hope I've evidence that it isn't. Well, what's my preference? I've been thinking about them. For me personally, spring and autumn don't make it onto my list. I exclude them straight away. Not because I don't get out in spring and autumn, here I am, but because for me, they're hybrids of the other seasons. Today is autumn. You can start to feel winter. It's cooler, it's wetter, it's damper. Tree and plants are starting to get a little more difficult to identify. But yet it's still actually a beautiful day today. It's clear, there's blue skies. I can't really see, I can see clouds over there over the sea, but I can't really see any clouds above me. It's a nice day. Similarly with spring, spring you've got, the tree and plants are starting to show their hands a little more. Birds are obviously out this morning. Tree and plants are starting to show their hands a little more. From an ID perspective, days are getting warmer. They're getting maybe a little drier. I'm not so sure in the UK, but things are getting warmer, they're getting drier, they're getting brighter. But you've still got those days where winter is reminding you that it's still not quite given up its grasp on nature at that point. So for me, they're hybrids, I exclude them. Which leaves me with summer and winter. I like summer. I like going out in the summer. I like it for all of the lazy, selfish reasons, like it's warmer, it's drier, it's brighter, the days are longer, therefore I can get more done. It makes life a little easier. Let's be really honest, it often makes life a little easier when it is summer and all of those environmental factors come together. For me, the real reason I like summer though is it is because of the environmental factors, but not an obvious one. It's because my kids are more likely to come out with me into the woods, doing stuff, doing overnighters. They're more likely to come out because it's warmer, drier, brighter, days are longer, that sort of thing. So it's not necessarily the weather affecting me positively, it's the weather affecting the kids positively, and they choose to come out with me. So that's probably my rationale for enjoying being out in the summer. In the winter, my kids are very definitely less likely to come out with me. That's not to say they don't, they absolutely do, but it's more of a struggle and they're less forthcoming at coming out, I must admit. Days are shorter, they're colder, they're wetter, they're darker. Things are just a little bit harder, aren't they? You can't just go and grab some wood and some kindling and some tinder. It needs a lot more process, a lot more thought, it needs a lot more searching around to find stuff that's dry or is drier than everything around it. But that for me is also a positive. That puts a challenge on me. The conditions make life harder. They make life a little harder. And for me, that's no bad thing. That's no bad thing at all, being pushed to having the comfort and reliability of summer taken away and replaced with something that isn't comfortable and isn't as reliable. For me, that's about being in the outdoors and enjoying the outdoors, knowing how to overcome or attempting to overcome those environmental factors. So that's why I like winter. If I had to choose a season, if it was this season or bust, I'd go for summer, because life's a little easier, but primarily because my kids are more likely to come out with me and enjoy some time outdoors together as a family. So summer would be my season, that if we could only live with one season till the end of time, for me, it would be summer for the reasons I've just explained. But what about you? If you were stuck in your part of the world with all of the effects that season has on where you are in the world, because I'm mindful I'm only speaking from an English perspective, and even then I'm speaking from a southern England perspective. Where are you in the world? Let me know that. And if you were stuck with one season in that area till the end of time, what season would you go for and why, when it comes to going outdoors, bushcrafting and doing the sorts of things that we enjoy? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, folks. Look forward to reading your replies and comments below. As always, I'll try and respond to as many of them as I possibly can. I hope you understand why I've been absent for a little while, and I make no guarantees, but I personally hope that this video is sort of the catalyst and me getting back on the horse again in terms of being able to regularly upload. Thanks as always for watching, folks. Thank you for your support. It's always appreciated, and thank you for the kind messages and words that people that have put two and two together over the past the past month or so, especially in relation to my last video, which I'm linking to in the top right hand corner of your screen. Now, those people that put two and two together and sent me some kind words and messages, thank you very much indeed. Take care, folks. Bye.